Iran's proxy forces are rapidly mobilizing, plunging headfirst into the conflict. These allied groups share a deep, historical blood feud with Israel. According to CCTV News, on the afternoon of March 3, Iran resumed its missile strikes on Israel, a mere 10 hours after the previous attack wave. Meanwhile, the Axis of Resistance continues its unwavering support for Iran. On the northern front, Hezbollah in Lebanon launched a fierce new offensive at 4 a.m., firing massive barrages of rockets and drones. Hezbollah stated that the primary targets of this assault were Israeli military facilities. As of now, every member of the Axis of Resistance, with the sole exception of Hamas, has fully entered the war, ready to fight the US and Israel to the death. Although some of these Iranian brother organizations lack advanced weaponry and boast weaker military strength, none have backed down in their support for Iran and their resistance against the US and Israel. Notably, on March 1, just the second day of the war, Hezbollah launched an evening strike on a missile defense base near Haifa. This marked the first cross-border fire since the 2024 Lebanon-Israel ceasefire agreement. Hezbollah openly announced that this operation was revenge for Khamenei, and a direct response to Israel's prolonged aggression against Lebanon. The assaults continued on March 3, when Hezbollah used guided missiles to successfully destroy an Israeli Merkava main battle tank in the northern city of Metula. Born from the ruins of the 1982 Israeli invasion of Lebanon with Iranian backing, Hezbollah was founded on resistance after 18 years of relentless combat. They successfully drove Israel out of southern Lebanon in the year 2000. Despite decades of Israeli strikes, Hezbollah has maintained its military readiness, instantly joining the fray the moment Iran was attacked. Simultaneously, on the very day of the US-Israeli airstrikes, Houthi leaders declared their absolute support for Iran. Senior officials announced the immediate resumption of attacks on Red Sea shipping suspected of supporting Israel. Alongside direct strikes on the Israeli mainland, across Yemen, massive protests erupted, including in the capital, condemning the US-Israeli aggression. Consequently, BIMCO issued a stern warning that the Red Sea has entered a critical state of emergency, beyond US and Israeli-linked vessels. All ships face imminent risk of attack, prompting advisories to reroute through UAE and Qatari waters. Israel has also reported intercepting multiple inbound missiles fired from Yemen, likely by the Houthis. As a crucial pillar of the Axis, the Houthis shifted into a war footing without hesitation, having survived and upgraded their arsenal following Israel's 2025 decapitation strikes, which eliminated several of their top commanders. The Houthis are now firing hypersonic missiles in retaliation, tearing up last year's non-aggression pact with the United States. They are risking their own survival to make America and Israel pay. Furthermore, on the night the war broke out, Iraqi militias swiftly launched an intensive campaign against U.S. bases. Dozens of attacks have already taken place, targeting U.S. bases and consulates with massive rocket and suicide drone barrages. Their operations demonstrate deep preparation and lethal efficiency. According to AP sources, Iran drafted detailed contingency plans with Iraqi Axis members months in advance, outlining exactly how to conduct systematic warfare inside Iraq should a broader conflict ignite. Currently, Harir Air Base, the U.S. consulate in Erbil, Baghdad airport targets, and U.S. installations in Kuwait have all sustained heavy militia strikes, just as they prioritized striking Israel during the 2023 Israeli-Palestinian conflict. These militias are now aiming their retaliation directly at the United States, serving as a vital pinning force for Iran. As a critical land neighbor, these militias will heavily dictate the pace of any upcoming trench warfare. Currently, Hamas remains the only Axis member not actively fighting, as severe losses in the Gaza war have depleted their large-scale combat capabilities. Nevertheless, on day one, Hamas released a powerful statement condemning the US-Israeli operations, declaring that this war will determine the survival of the entire Middle East, and urging a unified resistance. Ultimately, the battlefield reality has far exceeded initial US-Israeli expectations. This undeclared airstrike triggered the full might of the Axis of Resistance, a massive, systemic network meticulously built by Iran over decades. While the US and Israel assumed their overwhelming military superiority would guarantee a swift victory, Iran's endless waves of missile retaliation have never ceased. Undeterred, these heavily armed factions are uniting from all fronts, forming a massive dragnet that is rapidly bogging down US-Israeli military deployments. The conflict is spiraling into an asymmetric quagmire of attrition. Even Donald Trump recognized this grim reality on March 2, in a New York Times interview. He admitted the war might outlast the White House's projections, refusing to rule out the deployment of ground troops. This acknowledgement signals the total failure of America's rapid victory strategy. Should ground troops be deployed, the haunting legacies of Iraq and Afghanistan will inevitably fuel massive internal division and potentially total fracture within the White House.